Hi, I'm Allan Pease, author of 11 #1 best-selling books, including The Definitive Book of Body Language, Why Men Don't Listen, Women Can't Read Maps, Easy Peasy, and many more. And what I'm about to show you is one of the most powerful, most valuable skills you will ever learn. I'm going to show you how to read what's going on in people's minds and how to make good first impressions and to attract people to you and create an environment where people feel comfortable about saying yes to what you want. I'm going to show you the fundamentals of body language. And once you've discovered this and once you've learnt this skill, it will affect the rest of your life in a very, very positive way. We all know somebody and admire a person who can walk into the room and suddenly people are attracted to them. It's like they have a magnetic personality. People want to be near them. They want to listen to them. They want to act on what these people are asking them to do. We all know somebody like that. You know, in 50 years of training salespeople, we always knew that a great salesperson knew when to close the sale. They knew when to speak and when to be quiet. Now the question is, nobody ever knew, how did they know that? And we all know somebody who's got charisma. That is somebody who, for some reason, everybody wants to be with them, be near them, be their friend, to listen to them and to act on their messages. Now, studies show that around 3% of us have what's called the charisma gene. It's not a gene, but that's what it's called. In other words, we're born that way. We don't have to go to a training class or watch a video like this to understand it. For 97% of us, however, who don't have the charisma gene, the good news is we can learn to be charismatic. We can learn to create an environment with people so that they feel comfortable about being with us and about wanting to say yes. We can influence the situation that we're in where people feel comfortable. Because the bottom line is this: if people buy you, that is, they feel comfortable with you, they think you identify with them, you understand them, they feel good around you. If they buy you, there's a good chance they're going to buy what goes with you. And the reverse is true. If they don't buy you, that is, they don't feel comfortable, they don't feel as though they identify, there's something they can't put their finger on about you that doesn't quite connect with them, then they'll look for reasons to saying no to something, even if it's a good idea. Now, the latest research into body language by myself and by other organisations shows that the impact of the message you're making in a face-to-face situation, like we are now, is between 60 to 80% of the message. So the impact you're making is 2/3 to 3/4 of the way you look, appear, behave, facial expressions, whether you lean forward, lean back, and so on. What you actually say, things we can write on a piece of paper, words, account for between 7 to 10% of your impact face-to-face. So you can almost say that what you said doesn't matter that much. It's more important the way you looked and behaved, and the rest is intonation, tone of voice. We also know that people form up to 90% of their impression about you in under 4 minutes. So in that first 4 minutes, we very much decide whether we're going to give somebody a yes or a no, whether we're likely to agree or to reject. And it's based largely on the way they appear. In fact, most of that impression in the first 4 minutes is made in the first 10 seconds, and we spend 3 minutes 50 confirming what we think our decision is. We decide in that first 4 minutes a person's friendliness and their dominance. We also decide whether they could be a potential partner for us as well. There are 3 things that happen in the first 4 minutes. Now, in that first 4 minutes, that first impression comes from the ancient reptilian brain at the back. Now, the reptilian brain is looking at a new person, deciding, will they be friendly? Will they be aggressive? Will they be my friend? Will they be my enemy? Now, when you meet a person a subsequent, a second, third, fifth, or 10th time, you're not using the ancient brain, the limbic brain, you're using the forward parts of the brain. And that's why you always remember the very first time you met a person. You probably don't remember the 3rd or the 7th or the 26th or the 87th time you met that person, but we always remember the first time we met them. That's because the ancient part of the brain is deciding their dominance or their friendliness. And that's why the old adage is, you never get a second chance to make a first impression, is scientifically true. Now, the verbal channel, that is words, things we can write down, is used to convey facts and data. That is information, hard information. Body language, gestures, movements, expressions that we're going to talk about in this series, conveys attitudes and feelings. So it's a reflection of your emotions. So whatever emotion a person's feeling is likely to be reflected in an expression, a gesture, movement, and a posture. So the key to reading body language is very simple. That you are reading a person's emotional condition, their emotional state. You then match it up with what you hear them saying in the circumstances under which it's all happening. And when you become very good at this, you become what's called perceptive and intuitive, and you can figure out what's likely to be going on in a person's head. Well, 60 to 80% of impact is body language. Does that mean we need to speak at all? Well, we do if we're going to convey facts and data, information, which is the verbal channel. But you know, if you go back in history, most of human history, we didn't talk. Speaking, which is what I'm doing now, is a relatively new invention in terms of human evolution.